the talking points memo is about Vice President Harris's media tour. Finally, the pressure became so intense on the Harris campaign, they had to go out, talk to somebody, right? So they get the hard stuff out of the way with 60 Minutes, which really wasn't that hard. However, I'm a fair man. Bill Whitaker, the CBS News correspondent, he did a fairly good job. He wasn't as tough as I would have been, but he asked the pertinent questions. She didn't answer them, and he pushed at some point, but he didn't define, and I'll explain that. So Kamala Harris goes in. She knows that CBS News is friendly territory because they're all friendly territory with the exception of Fox and Newsmax, or to a lesser extent. So the first question that Whitaker has is about all these promises. You know, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to spend that, we're going to do this. Roll it.
But it is estimated by the Nonpartisan Committee for Responsible Federal Budget that your economic plan would add $3 trillion to the federal deficit over the next decade. How are you going to pay for that?
Okay, so the other economists that have reviewed my plan versus my opponent and determined that my economic plan would strengthen America's economy, his would weaken it.
But pardon me, Madam Vice President, the question was, how are you going to pay for it?
Well, one of the things is I'm going to make sure that the richest among us who can afford it pay their fair share in taxes.
All right. I mean, how many times is she going to just roll that out? Number one, Whitaker is saying, and did say, because I cut that down, that Congress is never going to pass all this insane spending. There's no way on earth that Congress is going to okay the Harris administration, if she wins, writing a $25,000 check to first-time homebuyers. That's not going to happen. And it's unconstitutional because it excludes most of the U.S. population from the government largesse. So it's never in a million years going to happen. Harris, whether she knows it or not, I don't know if she's smart enough to know it. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. But she has not demonstrated any insight into how this country runs. Well, the rich people can afford it, they pay their fair share. You're never going to cover it, even if you got it through Congress, which you'll never do, okay? You're never going to be able to cover that, the amount of money that you want to spend. I mean, $3 trillion, and it goes up and up and up and up and up. You just can't do it. Okay. So that was number one. And I thought Whitaker did a good job. Push, push, push. I would have said at the end, with all due respect, no matter how high you raise taxes on corporations and on affluent individuals, you can't cover. You can't come close to covering. And not only that, but the Biden administration has added more than $7 trillion to national debt in 3.5 years. You think that's good? I'll see what she says. Now, she'd probably blame it on COVID, but I don't even know if she would think that fast. Second question, okay? Flip-flops. Go.
Let me tell you what your critics and the columnists say.
Okay.
They say that the reason so many voters don't know you is that you have changed your position on so many things. You were against fracking, now you're for it. You supported looser immigration policies, now you're tightening them up. You were for Medicare for all, now you're not. So many that people don't truly know what you believe or what you stand for. And I know you've heard that.
In the last 4 years, I have been Vice President of the United States. And I have been traveling our country. And I have been listening to folks and seeking what is possible in terms of common ground. I believe in building consensus.
That's just gibberish, okay? You either have core beliefs or you don't. So you sign on with Bernie Sanders to a Medicare for all bill. All right, that means government controls the health system, top to bottom, in this country. And then you don't like it. You signed on the bill, but a few years later when you're running for president, you don't like it anymore. Why? Well, I talked to a lot of people and I want consensus. Well, there is no consensus. Okay, the people who support you and Bernie Sanders want the government to run. All right, it's not like 90% of Americans are going, we don't want the government to run the healthcare industry. A lot of them do. They vote Democrat. They're liberal. They want a big government apparatus. But what she does is she doesn't even attempt to answer the question about fracking. If she would say, look, I changed my opinion on fracking because I have to win Pennsylvania, and that's a big industry, so that's why I changed it. Okay, at least you can respect the honesty. But no, she goes into the land of gibberish because that's where she lives. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. America is at a breaking point. Record inflation, interest rates, debt. The last thing we need is more reckless government spending and higher taxes, and they could happen. But a Harris presidency could bring us into that zone, plus a hit to your retirement savings. So protect your savings with American Hartford Gold. They'll help you secure your retirement by diversifying with physical gold and silver. Start with a simple phone call. They'll guide you through the process, even deliver gold and silver right to your door, or place it directly in your IRA or 401k. Don't wait. These safe haven assets can protect you in an economic crisis. Call or text American Hartford Gold today. Tell them O'Reilly sent you to get up to $15,000 of free silver on qualifying orders. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text Bill to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.